Subscribe to our channel and also press the bell icon to never miss an update from Kautilya's Fincast.
Welcome to Kautilya's Fincast from September 1 to September 15, 2020.
Let's begin with corporate news. Infosys will hire 12,000 American workers over the next 2 years, creating a 25,000-strong workforce in the U.S. over 5 years. This is part of its strategy to increase local hiring in the country. Future Group's portfolio composition in apparel, general merchandise-owned FMCG brands will allow for wider offering to its customers, and the acquisition will subject to approvals from various regulators, shareholders, and creditors. 60% of Indian enterprises believe that artificial intelligence will disrupt their business in next 2 to 3 years. 70% of Indian enterprises that deployed AI have achieved measurable results. The IT department has issued tax refunds at a speed of 76 cases per minute. The department has issued refunds worth 98,625 crore rupees to over 26.2 lakh taxpayers in 5 months of FY21. FIAM Industries posted weak set of numbers in Q1 of FY21 due to pandemic disruption in business activities. Revenues suffered significant decline on a year-on-year basis, while operating profit turned negative. SBI moved the apex court to recover dues from Anil Ambani by invoking his personal guarantee after he got stay from Delhi High Court against such a move. 3 people aware of the development. Vodafone's Indian arm merged with Idea Cellular in August 2018, but telcos had maintained their 2 separate brands, but company owes slightly over 50,000 crore rupees to DOT as AGR-related dues. Wipro said it plans to set up Digital Innovation Hub at Düsseldorf in Germany that will serve as the IT services major's flagship center in Europe. Consumers purchased smartphones, televisions, air conditioners of almost 50,000 crore rupees from electronics retail chains owned by Reliance and Tatas, and they together control over 20% of the Indian market. Indiabulls raise around 735 crore rupees through the QIP, that allows listed companies to raise capital through equity or equity-linked instruments quickly. Infosys plans to hire 500 additional tech workers in Rhode Island, U.S. by 2023, and its recent announcement to hire 12,000 additional workers, bringing its total commitment to 25,000 roles. DTH Broadcasting, accounts for 37% of total television subscribers in India, is set to notch up revenue growth of 400 to 600 basis points to touch 22,000 crore rupees this fiscal, according to CRISIL. Nirmala Sitharaman announced 90,000 crore rupees liquidity infusion into cash-strapped discoms for payment of dues till March 2020. Discoms have been facing demand slump due to lockdown to contain COVID-19. Tata Steel said it will pay 235.54 crore rupees in bonus to its employees FY 2019-20. Despite a difficult year, Tata Steel honored its 3-year commitment to ensure complete bonus payment to employees. Toyota Kirloskar Motors said, "We are investing 2,000+ crores in next 12 months in electric components and technology for the domestic customer and export." Let's begin with market news. V paid 7,854 crore rupees in AGR dues and had cash holding of about 3,450 crore rupees as of June. Gross debt was 118,940 crore rupees. The excess shareholding, associated voting and dividend rights now stand frozen. LIC's holding, of 12.51%, was earlier not considered to be of a trading member and rather was categorized as a strategic investor. Tech Mahindra, Cyient, ITI Limited to Sterlite Technologies Limited and Sankhya Labs, built 5G expertise across core telecom solutions such as virtual radio access networks, Open RAN, chipsets and hardware, which Jio possibly tap into its homegrown solutions. India's exports and imports are doing well, and capping of export incentives under the Merchandise Exports from India scheme at 2 crore rupees will not affect 98% of the exporters who claim benefit under the scheme. The tech-heavy Nasdaq lost over 4% and S&P 500 dropped below, as indexes lost ground for the second straight day after hitting record closing highs on historic stimulus and a narrow rally in heavyweight technology stocks. India's shrinking economy is not stopping foreign investors from pouring money into the nation's stocks betting on a recovery. Happiest Minds Technologies trading more than 60% premium over issue price in grey market as it proceeds from fresh issue towards long-term working capital requirement and general corporate purposes. Life Insurance Corporation of India likely to be bigger as government plans to insensitivize the participation of retail investors by offering discounts and issuing bonus shares. Tesla tumbled much as 20% after its surprise exclusion from S&P 500 index to the broader sell-off technology stocks, which dominated Wall Street's recovery from coronavirus crash earlier this year. Grey market premium shares of Route Mobile dropped as entered the second day of subscription, where service provider plans to raise 240 crore rupees by issuing fresh equity and 360 crore rupees through an offer for sale by the promoters. SEBI's new norms for multi-cap funds injected steroids in the small and mid-cap categories as it mandates that funds must invest at least 25% equity each in large, mid and small cap stocks. SFBs may require equity infusion of around 5,000 to 6,000 crore rupees for industry to achieve CAGR of 15 to 20% till FY23 and to absorb expected losses and maintain gearing levels at 7 to 8 times. India plans to introduce a new law banning trade in cryptocurrencies, placing it out of step with other Asian economies which have chosen to regulate the fledgling market. Let's begin with economy news. Government debt in large emerging market sovereigns will rise by 10% points of GDP on average by end of 2021, although some are likely to see higher interest payments contributing to higher debt. China seeking to set up more robust logistics facilities in about a dozen countries, including 3 in India's neighborhood, to allow PLA to project and sustain military power at greater distances. GST collection declined for the second consecutive month in August to 86,449 crore rupees, on year-on-year basis, which is 12% lower than what was mopped up in the same month last year. Finance Minister held virtual review meeting with heads of banks and non-banking finance companies for smooth and fast implementation of one-time debt restructuring resolution of COVID-19 related stress in bank loans. The unemployment rate fell by more than expected, by almost 2% points, to 8.4%. This has given a much-needed respite to the people amid the pandemic-ravaged economy. West Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankar has called a time-bound high-level judicial probe into purchase of equipment of 2,000 crore rupees to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. The size of India's passenger vehicle market is not likely to grow to 10 million units per annum by 2030 due to the prevailing COVID-19-induced economic slowdown which impacted sales significantly. Andhra Pradesh has topped in ease of doing annual business ranking of states and union territories by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade for third time in a row. Brent crude was at $41.75 a barrel, down 91 cents or 2.1% by 00 Greenwich Mean Time, after it earlier slid to $41.51, its lowest since July 30. Analysts in Reuters poll had forecast exports would increase 7.1% from year earlier after registering surprising growth of 7.2% in July. Fitch Ratings projected global GDP to contract 4.4% in the current year but revised upwards China's growth estimate to 2.7% for 2020. In retail lending, 15 to 20% improvement was seen in collections, where efficiency was 70 to 75% for microloans, 80 to 90% for vehicle finance and 85 to 90% for affordable housing across financiers. The employment growth rate declined to 3.5% in FY20 from 3.8% in the previous fiscal year, but total number of jobs increased to 50.02 lakh rupees from 48.32 lakh rupees. Oryx will have 17% stake, with GIC and Adia stake coming down to 56% and 14%. Founder stake will also come down to around 13%. Bank continued to remain a net buyer of the U.S. currency in July after it purchased $15.973 billion on net basis from the spot market according to bulletin released by RBI. Finance Ministry said banks have sanctioned loans worth over 1.63 lakh rupees crore to more than 42 lakh business units under 3 lakh rupees crore emergency credit line guarantee scheme for the MSME sector. As per RBI, NPAs scheduled commercial banks pertaining to large industry and services declined 31% from the 31st of March 2018 to 436,492 crore rupees on the 30th of June 2020. The trade deficit was $6.77 billion in August. Merchandise imports contracted 26.04% to $29.47 billion and exports fell 12.66% to $22.70 billion.